Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone. My name is Rick Cox. I'm a member of the Northside Christian Church. I also serve as a teacher and also a member of the praise team. I'm very fortunate to come today and bring you a message of hope, if you will, or one of fear, if you will. Believe it or not, according to my kids, I grew up in the 1980s, which is not true. I grew up in the 1970s. And I listened to 70s music. I did not listen to glamour rock. But there is a group that always struck me as being a great group. It was REO Speedwagon, a group out of Champaign, Illinois. And I was really enamored with the guitar player. And they have a song when I was growing up, it meant a lot to me, especially the words. It's a song called Keep Pushing On. And the first verse goes something like this: I used to be lonely till I learned about living alone. I find other things to keep my mind on. And I'm getting to know myself a little bit better. Yes, I keep pushing on. The verse, it tells us to keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing on. It tells us keep pushing, even though you think your strength is gone. Keep pushing, keep pushing. You know that you'll always be strong. Just keep pushing on. We live in an idea of a pandemic, and the pandemic it's here, it's real. We all know about it, but yet there's a pandemic of fear that's being placed. We as Christians should be the last persons to live in fear. For we read in the New Testament, if you would, turn to Mark, the 4th chapter, the 35th to the 41st verse. It talks about when Jesus was on a boat in a lake or a sea. Also, you can find this in Matthew, the 8th chapter, the 23rd and 27th verse, and also Luke 8, 23 and 20. I'll be reading from the King James Version. And the same day when was even come, he said unto them, let's pass over onto the other side. And when they had been set away the multitude, they took him, even as he was, in the ship, and there was also with him other little ships. And there arose a great storm of wind, and the waves beat upon the ship, so that it was now full. And he was in the hinder part of the ship, asleep on a pillow. And they awake him, and said unto him, Master, carest not that we shall perish? And he arose and rebuked the wind, and said unto the sea, Peace, be still. And the wind ceased. And as there was a great calm, he said unto them, Why are you so fearful? How is it ye have no faith? And they feared exceedingly, and they said one to another, What manner of man is even this, because the wind and the sea will obey him? It's kind of like what happened to us in this pandemic. Everything was going on really nice and even until the storm hit. But a lot of us didn't know the storm was going to come. Just like this squall that came up on Jesus' boat. They knew not when it would come. But it came, and they, according to verse 40, they asked him, Don't you care if should we perish? Yes, Jesus cares if we perish. And he said to them, Jesus, Why are you so fearful? How is it that you have no faith? And the reason, right before this incident, or before the situation took place, Jesus healed many people. Peter's mother-in-law was healed. And they feared because they really realized how powerful Jesus was. And the question today, how powerful do we think our God is? How powerful do we think Jesus is? In 2 Timothy, the 1st chapter, 7th verse, it says, For God had not given us a spirit of fear. I'd like to read that again. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, and of love, and of a sound mind. We, as all people, as Christians, should be not fearful for what this life has to offer, because we know that there's something better. In Matthew 25 to 14 to 30, it's the parable of the talents. And we always like to talk about the last gentleman. But really, what was the last gentleman's problem? Why was he found not pleasing in the end? In verse 25, it says, And I was afraid and went forth and hid the talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast what is thine. He was afraid. I wonder how many times as Christians we're afraid to live our lives. And at this point, I hear people, well, I'm bored. I need things to do. Is there not prayer? Is there not contacting our fellow man through the phone? Is there any way that we can be that city on a hill it talks about in Matthew that others look forward to? But most of all, Why as Christians should we be happy and not live in fear? In John the 14th chapter, the first 6 verses, let not your heart be fearful or troubled. Ye believe in God, ye also believe in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were so, I would have told you. I go to prepare you a place. And if I go to prepare you a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am also. And whither I go ye know, and that ye may know. Thomas said unto him, Lord, we know not whither thou goest, and how can we know the way? Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. How can we not be fearful? Because we as Christians understand we have a better home that's awaiting us. We understand that we have a mission on the earth to be those people that are non-fearful, that live our lives every day to its fullest. In closing, I like to say 3 things. God bless, love one another, and be safe. Thank you.